Hey everybody, we are back today having some technical difficulties, but that's how technology is. So we're gonna have Renee jump in here in a little bit. So we'll just you know waste a little time waiting on Renee. Hope everybody's doing well. A long weekend, a long weekend. Back today to just jump back into another topic and hope you all are doing well. Let's see. I think this is her coming in. Yeah, this is Renee coming in. Here we go.
Okay, I was looking on Facebook Live. All righty, here we go. Welcome.
I don't know what's going on.
I
My
think it's
hotspot's
18.
my hotspot's working, but my Wi-Fi isn't.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, but
don't
I
know.
think it's AT&T because I'm also experiencing some lag. But I restarted and all that stuff, and so it seems to be okay now. How are y'all tonight? How are y'all tonight? Just bear with us. I hope Glenn's already made apologies for any inconvenience tonight that we may cause. We're gonna go ahead and get this party started so that we won't just in case we won't have an interruption because we have an amazing message for you guys tonight. Last week I talked about loving yourself, and Dr. Pastor Glenn Thomas tonight is about to come up and talk about saving yourself. No lifeguards, y'all. No lifeguards. Saving yourself, loving yourself enough to save yourself, right? So, Pastor Dr. Glenn Thomas, you got for hun.
Look, first, please, I cannot be called pastor. I'm from the South. We can't even play like that. Can't even be called pastor.
Sir,
Well,
sir.
I'll receive the doctor because I'm
Okay,
trying
well,
to
let me
finish
say
up.
this.
What?
May the doors of the church open up, Dr. Thomas. Let's go.
Yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well. Hello, beautiful people. Yep, got your folks in here. I think that's Jess
Yeah,
or Naj. That might be
yeah.
Naj.
It says Facebook user, right?
Yep. So,
Okay.
but yeah, listen, I was listening to some. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, I'm a big advocate and proponent of listening to TikTok, and I'm gonna tell you something. I
Fun.
think there's good and bad in everything, and there's some real good in TikTok. I mean, there's just some. I love listening to Tik, and it's just like any other platform and algorithm on platforms. It shows you what you appreciate and what you show love to, right? So I get some amazing content from people
Right.
throughout the world, and I love that. And I was listening to someone yesterday, and I love these messages that just resonate with me and that just speak to my spirit. And it was about, listen, no one's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Like, you can wait on them. Superman. It was a movie about Superman and the education system, and like, nah, Superman ain't coming. And I just want to be real frank tonight. Just and and I know that we get in our funks, and we this week has been a tough week, a lot of deaths, and not you open your phone up, and you better save yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Um,
Better save
and you open
yourself.
your phone up. There's so much is happening, and it's easy to really get in a funk. It's very easy to get in the funk when money is tight, um, and and things feel tight, and it just feels as though nothing is going your way. But at the end of the day, pressure is actually what pushes us to actually make either a choice to sit or a choice to stand. And if you've been pressured, if you've been in enough pressure situations, you get tired of sitting. at some point, and you understand. And when she said, when I was listening to the TikTok yesterday, the video, and she said, "No one's going to save you." It just reminded me, and it just struck me like we have got to understand that though we may have our faith, and faith is critically important if you have some. And I talk about that in Plan B Sucks. Like I actually say in Plan B Sucks, and I'm very adamant about it. If you don't have faith, then I don't know what to tell you,
Right.
because the world is so tough on its own. You gotta have faith, and the reason why is because at some point, no one will be able to save you. There won't be nobody to come run to you. At some point, uh, you will overextend yourself to a point to where people will say no, and you realize you are sitting there by yourself, and it's for you to actually pick yourself up and say, "Hey, I gotta go. Like I gotta get up." Um, there's a lot of people every single day that decide that because no one came to save them, then they're not worthy of being saved, and that hurts me because actually it's really the opposite. When you're at the point where there's no one to come save you,
Mhm.
that should say to you, now it's time for you to save yourself. It's time for you to step up. It's time for you to do what you were built to do, and
Mhm.
that was be resilient, even in the worst of situations.
And I think that what we see most of is that when people see, like we saw today, that there's no lifeguard on deck, what we do is we say, well, I'm just not going to swim.
Yeah,
I'm just going to check out. I'm just going to become distracted. I'm just going to, remove myself from the situation. So I don't need to be uncomfortable. But you can't be comfortable when you're drowning.
no,
You can't be comfortable drowning. And what you don't realize is, though, even though you don't jump in, you're still drowning. You're
yeah,
still drowning because you're not doing anything to save yourself. You've not activated that. Whenever you're drowning, the first thing you do is you try to reach for support. You're not activated. I've seen so many people these days that just stop swimming because
yeah,
they don't see anyone coming for them. They just stop. They just stop. And what I want us to do is I heard a sermon by a pastor by the name of Tim Timberlake this weekend. He preached for Pastor Furtick this weekend. What he said was, he said, when you're, he talked about the 700 men whose left hand was cut off. And he said, right hand was cut off. And he said they had to all learn how to use their left hand. We got to learn to use what we've got. We are always asking for more, but we don't even tap into our resources. We think that we're drowning, but really the life jacket is right there. Like, we've got to realize that even when we're struggling, even when we're not able to swim, we've got to realize that we have everything we need inside of us to save ourselves. We've got it all. We don't need anything else. We've got it, all of it inside of us.
yeah. I think there's the life is about nature and nurture, and the sad state of affairs is that you can take two human beings and they can grow up in the same neighborhood, maybe right next door to each other. Um,
Mhm.
the two Westmores is a
Mhm.
great example. If you've ever known about, who Westmore is,
No.
in his book, there was a young man by the same name that lived very close to him. They had two different lives.
Mm.
One ended up in jail, and the other ended up in the military and decorated officer, and
There's
but
a
that's
movie
just
about this. Okay. I think there's
yeah,
a movie. Hmm.
yeah. And so that's just to say that nature and nurture are very, very real. And so I don't discount that there are people that come up in situations and circumstances that are really that are very challenging and very trying. And to that effect, though, what what I would say to that is that we have to be able to extend gratitude for ourselves so we can extend gratitude to others and understand that people are living lives that we can't even imagine sometimes. That I mean, you know, I know people in the social services, sector and work with kids, foster kids and kids are who in the system,
Mm,
who come through the system, and these young people are just they're trying to survive.
right.
And kids who are trying to survive turn into young adults that are trying to survive. Young adults who's trying to survive turn into adults that are trying to survive. Ultimately, this is the nurture, this is the evolution.
Hmm.
But we must understand the way we see them and treat people who are going through
Mm,
is critically important.
right.
This whole idea that we have to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, like that's one idea. I'm talking about no one's coming to save you, meaning at some point you must realize, no matter the circumstances, that there will be a point where you will have to go in all in for yourself,
Hmm.
period. No matter where you come from, no matter what your circumstances are, there's just some lived experiences that have stories that are deeper or more tragic than others.
Hmm.
Um, that being said, we have to know that resilience is an underrated attribute. And we also have to understand that the way we treat people has life and death consequences.
Oh, say it. Ain't so. I mean, I told my son one day that um, we were talking about bullying. And one of the things I said to him, in my chances, in my in my experience, what I said to him was, Carter, bullies don't have friends. You pull them along to do the right thing. You never sink to the level of destroying another human being or even mistreating another human being for that matter. We don't realize that what we say to people on a daily basis has detriment, like could be detrimental to their growth, to how they aspire. But Glenn, I have to say that the way we treat people is generally the way we treat ourselves.
Yeah, and I think that when I talk about the self-reliance, the self-resilience aspect, I don't want it to get lost on people that it doesn't matter what we do to people or do for people. It matters. What what I'm saying though is to your point,
Mm-hmm.
is that there are people that are hurting
Mm-hmm.
that we need to be mindful. We might not be able to save them,
Right.
but we can lift them.
Yes.
We can deposit into them.
Yes.
We can cheer them.
Yes.
And this whole idea, like, no one can save you, and I believe no one really can save you because you must do the work. Ultimately, I don't care where your circumstances are and where you come from. Hurt people. We always say
Yeah.
hurt
Hurt
people, right?
people hurt
And
people.
hurt people. And the opposite of that, right?
Yeah.
The inverse is it that
Healthy
heal
people
people
heal
help
people.
heal people, right?
Right.
And that's why it's so critically important that we understand that there's a responsibility of self, right, to dig ourselves out of those trenches, but there's also a responsibility of other
Mm-hmm.
to lift my brother and sister, to understand, as I love this saying, to understand that we do belong together, and because we belong together, no matter if it's friend or foe, we must understand that we have a responsibility to not save each other,
Mm-hmm.
but to lift each other, and to do it in the spirit of understanding that we are interconnected We are
I love,
interdependent no matter what we believe or think.
I love when you say that. We are.
And when one of us fails, trust and believe me, you may not see the failure in your moment, but when
Mm-hmm.
one of us fails,
Mm-hmm.
the universe shifts. And so you might not feel that shift, but your children may feel it.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
may
yeah.
not feel that shift, but your great grandchildren may feel it.
Right.
The question that we must ask ourselves when we think about this whole ideal of self sufficiency and self reliance, though it's important, the idea we must understand and think about where's the selflessness in self sufficiency?
Yes.
Where's your selflessness? Where's your spirit of understanding that we're connected, that we belong together? And
Mm-hmm.
and that to me is where we fall short on many occasions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll share something with you. What's up, Jay? What's up, JD? Um,
Who I can't see who these I can't see who the people are because it just says Facebook user.
oh, I got Johnny came in. I think that's Naj or Jessica, probably
Hey
Naj.
Josh, hey Jessica, hey
Um,
Johnny, hey everybody.
I was, the thing today, I was driving up the freeway, coming off the freeway. Jay, oh, Jay's back. Okay.
I do see.
Um,
Okay.
I was coming up the freeway on the off ramp, and this guy was on the side, and he was pulled over. And his car seemed like be broken down, and it was in a dangerous spot, right? Oh, it's Jess, okay. And
Hey,
it was in a
Jessica.
dangerous spot, and and um and what I realized was I immediately I was about to stop, but what's probably one, it was like it's in a dangerous spot. Two, it's weird. If I felt a weird vibe, and I kept going, and he was like, you can see him like, oh, please stop. What I'm getting at is we are now in the world where we're second guessing each other, and when we must second guess each other. And I listen, I'm all about safety, and
Mhm.
I'm not going to at all, denigrate anybody for being safe and going with your gut when you don't feel safe. And we have to keep ourselves safe. But we are in a world at this juncture, unfortunately,
Mhm.
where we don't trust each other. And it hurts me when I think about that, because I look at my kids and I see all the love and the trust in them, the unconditional love and trust that
Mhm.
they just have in their hearts. And I wonder about us adults, us those of us who've lived a little. One,
Experience.
I wonder, when did we lose it?
Yeah.
What happened? When did it turn the corner? When that 8-year-old love and trust turns into deceit and sneakiness, or non-trust, or just uh, it's the anti. It's the anti of love. It's the antithesis of it's antithetical, at least, to love. I wonder, when did that happen?
I can tell you, I'm gonna be very vulnerable with you right now about my kid. I don't know about myself, but I know when my son started to do it, when he felt like he couldn't trust me.
Hmm.
And that
Ooh,
that
hold
had
on, hold, whoa,
nothing
whoa,
to
whoa,
do,
whoa,
that
whoa,
had
whoa,
nothing to do with him.
whoa, 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 whoa. You just laid something hard down on folks, and probably everybody's gonna miss that. You need to
Well, let
say
me
that
be
again.
clear. Let me be clear. And that
You
had
need,
nothing to do with him.
you
That
need
had
to say what you just
everything.
said, though. You really
I
say that again.
realized that my son stopped, started being sneaky, started, telling lies. And I'm gonna say what it is. It's a lie. Started telling lies when he realized he couldn't trust me. When he couldn't trust me to be authentic in who he was.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that relationship with him where he can make a mistake, and any mistake, I don't care what it is. He could tell me anything today. Now a year ago, I would flip. I don't know if it was COVID or what, but I would flip. And whenever he would bring home bad grades, whenever he would, and I'm talking about anything, we have to ask ourselves, do we get more angry with them because of who we are and who we want to be? Or do we actually get angry with them because we really care about them growing to be who they are? And
Look,
that shifts the trust. It starts making us untrustworthy and it starts making us untrusting. I
yeah,
believe.
that's a whole sermon.
That's a whole
Um,
sermon, but that's a whole sermon, but that's when people stop trusting, is when they realize that they can't trust you.
listen,
We talk about leadership all the time, and how, and you said this when I first started working with you, that anytime somebody that is under your coaching makes a mistake, that's on me.
yeah,
And I'm
and
taking ownership over my parenting because I want to be a better parent.
yeah, and listen, we grow up in that world. When we talk about people not having resilience to save themselves, to dig themselves out. I mean, listen, let's get aside from um, 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 clinical matters that are real, and there are people have clinical things they struggle with and fight, and that's real when we talk about that. But aside from that, though, that's nurture. We nurture resilience in each other. It starts obviously in the proximity of your home, your community. Um, you know, let's see, just made a comment, same as Marine. I say the same thing. When my Marines mess up, it's on me, it's my leadership. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
You mess
Yeah.
up, it's on you. When you win, it's on you.
Right.
And
Like,
and the thing about it is that this proximity is real. And if you're nurturing resilience, then you're gonna be more prone to be resilient.
mm-hmm.
It starts early.
It starts early.
And we have adults. I look around, I know people all too well where when things are going well, things are great. And when things are going bad, things are really, really bad. And they struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why they struggle is because they've not been nurtured in resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and so people say, well, it's some people just have it. No, no, no,
No,
some people just don't have it. No.
no.
Um, we're the human species, we're built with resilience, actually. We're
Right.
built with it. You have to nurture it though. And
Right.
so but this is um a collective endeavor.
Right.
It's on us individually to save ourselves, to honestly step up, be resilient, but knowing that all people don't have the same resilience level, it's a collective effort to understand that and be mindful of that, and to see that, to look and see in people they may not have what they need, and
Mm-hmm.
instead of beating them down, I'm going to lift them. I'm not going to save them, because
I'm going
saving
to
them is not going to help them.
right.
All
No,
right.
it does not. No, it does
And,
not. It
and,
just
and,
becomes
there's, and there's a lot of us parents,
dependent on you. Right.
trying to save our children.
We are right. Right.
And saving them, there's sometimes we gotta put cover over them, of course, but there's
Mm-hmm.
many circumstances where they don't need cover. They need to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
and,
They do.
and 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 that's just what it is. So, my point being for the night is just, if you're the person that doesn't have that strong resilience muscle, and you're the person that is needing that nurturing, know the circles that you're in. Understand that you're not alone. But if you're the person who has that resilience muscle, understand that the responsibility is not just for you to just be resilient yourself, but to honestly see it in others when others don't have it, to lift others, to deposit into others, to be patient with others, because again, we're in this together. And the universe shifts when we let somebody down. The universe shifts when we don't do our part, the universe may shifts, not for you per se, but definitely for something that could and might affect you ultimately.
Hmm. Right.
Oh man, can you
I know.
get? We got to wrap though.
My
And,
cousin,
listen,
too.
I'm gonna be
We got to wrap.
vulnerable.
This is my only last thing to say to people. Practice resilience. You can't wait until the storm to start being resilient. You got to
Yeah,
practice being resilient when you have the little things that happen. Get back on the horse and keep on riding. Just dust yourself off. That's all I want to say.
yeah. I appreciate everybody tonight. We had probably a quicker talk than we normally have, but in all transparency, hey, I'm about to go to hot yoga because I gotta
He's
go to
going
hot
to
yoga.
hot yoga.
Yeah, I'm
I
going to hot yoga.
I'm going to pack. We've got a special for y'all this week.
Oh yeah, we got a special for everybody this week. We're gonna be
Y'all are
tuning in.
so
We're gonna be coming
excited.
from somewhere. We ain't gonna drop it too quick. We're gonna let you know. We're gonna jump on it live, and we're gonna be here. Love you back, Jess.
We love you, Jessica.
My peoples, my fams. I
Love
know
you
you're doing
guys.
well. Keep fighting the fight. Keep
Yep.
taking care of the health and the wellness and the spirit.
Mila,
You're doing an amazing
yes.
job. Keep
Amen.
sharing the story too, Jess. Hey, my man Johnny, Jamila,
Mila,
well,
good
alive
to
and
see you.
well.
Yeah.
I got a joke, but I won't say it out loud. I'll text it to her. But hey, look, take care of yourself and take care of everybody around you, okay?
We love you guys.
All right,
See
we
you
love you.
soon.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I gotta go with my yacht yoga, man. I gotta go.
We're still live. Are we still live?
I think we are still live.